حضورنا الكريم، تنطلق الآن جلسة الشباب الإماراتي والجوائز العالمية، والتي سنحاور من خلالها الشباب الإماراتي من الحاصلين على الجوائز العالمية للتعرف على التحديات وكيفية الفوز بها وكيفية تأثيرها على الشباب والمجتمع. ويدير الجلسة الزميل حامد بن كرم، إعلامي من مؤسسة دبي للإعلام.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Emirati Youth and International Awards session is now starting. We will talk to Emirati youth who have won international awards to learn about the challenges, overcoming them, and how they affect the youth and society. The session will be moderated by Hamid bin Karam, a TV anchor from Dubai Media Incorporated.
شكرا اسمهان، شكرا عبد الله الغامدي.
Thank you, Ismahan. Thank you, Abdullah Al-Ghamdi. I extend to you, my brothers, my warmest welcome. And first, I would like to express our thanks to His Excellency Mr. Jamal bin Hwereb and the crew who is in charge of the organization of this event. First of all, I would like to introduce you to my beloved brothers amongst us today in this panel. And as we say, ladies first, we would like to start with our sister Fatma Al-Blushi. Fatma, God bless you. Welcome. Thank you very much indeed. Can you hear me clearly? Yes. I introduce you as well to my brother Hamdan Al-Amri. May Allah bless you, brother. Welcome. Thank you very much indeed. Of course, we will discuss the centrals of your specialities in this event, and we will enlighten our brothers that are present with us here today with your initiatives, perseverance, and the achievements that you have made. Let's start with you, Brother Khalid. MashaAllah, you are a graduate of the Young Leaders Program in the UK in 2020, and you are working in Dubai Police. First of all, can you tell me more about this program and how you were chosen for it, and how was your trip during this path? At first, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Muhammad bin Rashid Al Maktoum Knowledge Foundation and His Highness Jamal bin Hwereb for his well-organized event. I'm the happiest for being amongst you today, and with God's will, we will be able to answer all of your questions. Basically, all the discussions in this panel, basically, as I've said before, I've graduated from the Young Leaders Program, which is called also the ALM, which is based in the UK. And luckily, I am grateful for this chance that I've had while studying at Zaid University in 2020, because that program was adopted by the UAE, in which they put a group of youth into experiment as the first time in the public governmental universities. The story behind this program is simple. It was put forward to two categories. The first one, whom want to register, and the second one is by nomination. And thank God I've been nominated by the university to be part of this program, since I've been part of the youth councils under the umbrella of the Federal Youth Authority. At first, the idea of this program was blurry, but as soon as the trainer spoke with us about the program, it turned out that it had a great value for the youth and generally for leadership. This program is presented in the top universities in the UK, which has the role of creating international leadership. Also, that university was established in 1860, which means that it was a long time ago, one of the oldest universities who had a major role of leadership development, so that this program, Youth Leaders Program, was chosen to take place in the UAE. Thankfully, I've got accepted in the program for 6 months membership. We've been through lots of tests that made us surpass stages of program. We were a lot of people as a group in this program, but within a timeline of only 7 to 10 people, were left. And it was due to the difficulty of the levels and the program, since the youth is obliged to pass all the exams and attend all the courses, since they were after what we call the official time, which means we attend classes from 8 in the morning to the rest of the day. So you knew how to manage your time. Indeed, it was a little extra effort as youth to take this course, since it has a one common goal, clear goal. Thank you for the details, Brother Khalid. We would like to move to Brother Hamdan. Mashallah, Brother Hamdan, you've got the International Prize or Peace Prize from Davis Foundation. Can you please tell me first about this prize and how did you get it? Very good question. The International Peace Prize is given to projects that spread peace in the world, anywhere in the world. As you can see, briefly, I feel honored to be the first Emirati to win this prize, but I believe me, the most important thing than the prize itself is behind the scenes. By that I mean the 2 years trip. The struggle, the preparation for the prize, all these things are the rich content that I still have till this day, in which I mentioned in my book Things Mom Didn't Say, in a specific chapter called Among the Travel of Inner Self and Pleasure. In this chapter, I get to talk about some of the backstage stuff of the prize, or the contests of peace. And back to your question, the prize is given to people who apply their project on the ground, whether if it is in a conflict place or a war zone. And how can this project build and spread peace in a sustainable way? And thank God we got the prize. This is the idea of the prize. Brother Hamdan, are you obliged to register in order to get the prize, or is it based on a certain way to search the people whom the prize is given to? Very good question. As a start, you need to register in the prize list. Then you have to build a team together and get a vision for your project from scratch. For us, we have chosen homeless kids in Egypt. Excellent. And the choice was based on a pain I felt when I was a kid. And I tell this story to my listeners. When I was visiting Egypt, I remember this very well. I kept looking at some kids and I was roaming around streets. I was looking at kids who were buying flowers and selling flowers and tissues, and I was shocked. I told my mother, when will they go back to their homes? She said, these are their homes. That was the first shock that I've had in my life, that I would never forget. It was very painful to me, and it made me feel the blessings that we did not feel before. You would feel that in the UAE, all of us have homes and we don't feel those things. This was the first shock that motivated me and pushed me to apply for this kind of prize, which is such a difficult standard. And like they say, the pain is an energy sometimes, and it may lead to create hope. Brilliant. We move to our sister Fatma. Mashallah, you were honored as a regional impact coordinator for Arab youth by the Youth Association in 2019 for an international voluntary non-governmental non-profit organization. Could you tell us more about this organization? It all started in January 2018 when I heard about the Sustainable Development Goals. I was interested in knowing more when I knew that an Emirati delegation is heading to the USA in order to participate in this conference. I was happy to be amongst this delegation. We went, and so did you run for Yes, I was nominated. Brilliant. To be part of the delegation. How were you elected? I heard that there is an ambassador of this program in the Emirates. So I got nominated. Then when I got chosen, I said, why not? It's a big opportunity to attend the conferences in the UN, and we are going to hear more about sustainable development goals. It was a unique opportunity. I've met different youth from countries all around the world, and we were having one common goal. So we've decided that that's it. The summer of 2018, we are going to participate in the biggest delegation from the Emirates, and indeed we were more than 15 people, and we participated in it. After that, the ambassador of this program nominated me to a new program called Impact Facilitator Program, which is the overall coordination. Honestly, I was afraid in the beginning of the idea of representing all of the Arab youth. It's not only the UAE. It was a big thing for me. She said, God be with you. Have confidence. You have the competence to succeed. So when they called me for the interview, I said, since I got so far, or this far, means I got the skills needed, and thankfully I got chosen. One of the program's conditions is to work with them for 1 year, which means that I have to be the interface between International Youth Foundation and the Arab youth by following their projects, giving them instructions. And during this year, this job, which endured for a year, you will be evaluated, and due to it, if you did a great job as a coordinator, you will get honored, and that was my case, thank God. I was honored in 2019. Unfortunately, I couldn't made it physically there due to my participation at Expo 2020. And this was my story in this regard. I will come back to this Expo experience. Brother Khaled, you've mentioned something very important that caught my interest. You joined the program while you were working at the same time with Dubai Police. As many of us know, working at Dubai Police is hard and late and night shifts, and it gathers cadres. And how did you manage things between, how did you create that balance between your work and this program, and what made you continue this program? I sincerely apologize, Brother Hamid, but let me correct something. I started working at Dubai Police this year, so they were not at the same time taking place. But speaking of that period, I was studying in the university. So I'm graduated from Zayed University, and it happened to me in the last year of university. So I had the whole day for the university, and the evening is for the program. Managing my time wasn't like this. Managing my time was the top priority in my life, my brother. So I prioritize weekly and daily tasks. By that, I mean what I shall do this week, or what are the achievements that I haven't accomplished in the previous week or the week before. What helped me is this balance helped me a lot in achieving the balance between the program and this project, because it was an extensive course, but in fact this program can be in years, because it is introduced in a level of executive leaders, and it takes 1 or 2 years to hold this leader to their job. How has this project contributed in mastering your job? Honestly, the program plays a major primordial role in qualifying me doing my job in Dubai Police in so many things. Firstly, managing time, which is very important. And when you are now, you have your team is ready. Besides that, invest in your team energy is a big deal. We can see that many parties have task forces, yet they can't invest their energy in the right place. So the program was aiming to two sides, the practical and theoretical side. We were studying courses and at the same time doing a simulation on how to create task forces. The thing that helped me a lot, or helped me the most in my job while doing multiple projects in Dubai Police, more specific at the department I work in, and I'm sure that in the near future that the skill I'm having will make me lead bigger task forces in the future. Perfect. Hamdan, your story somehow and winning the prize, it highlights that there is perseverance and there is hope in there, according to what you say. Nowadays in the Emirates or the UAE, thank God, as a community, we don't suffer from humanitarian challenges, let's say. As youth, we've got lots of opportunities. Support is available. And the paths are set, and this is very important. What made you, as Hamdan, apply for candidacy and win the prize with perseverance? Very good question. Sincerely, the main source of motivation for me was the pain I felt back then, seeing, as you said, you know, our country has provided for us everything. They see people would not feel the blessing unless they lose it. And it would be generalized. When I saw that people are suffering from that, something that I have, they're lacking it, that was very painful for me. So having this feeling, it was fueling me up to change a small opportunity on how to help those children. Once I've seen the opportunity, I seized it. We have been through thick and thin, and some circumstances we've applied for the prize in the first year and we've lost, and the loss for me, it was a big shock. After all the efforts that were invested, the time that was invested and the money that was invested in the project. And then that time I told myself an expression that I will never forget till today. The expression was as follows: we all have dreams that has fallen off in bins of wishes. Make sure when your dreams fall apart, try to recycle them to be goals. Wishes are whether dreams we shall wake up from or goals we shall achieve. I asked myself back then, honestly, Hamdan, should I put all my efforts in this dream, or it is a goal that you have to put more efforts for it? And I needed to think about it, and I ended up putting more efforts. What are the reasons of your first failure and the reasons of you winning the prize in the second time? Brilliant question. If you asked me this question back then, I would have told you the whole story with details. But today, when I have studied some details, I can give you the answer in 2 words. Design thinking. Wonderful. At first, when I started the project, I wanted to do it from the perspective of feeling these children, and I felt that I understand those children and I want to do lectures for them and etc. And believe me, the day I lost, I thanked God for it, because if I won the prize, I would have won the prize and I would have lost the children, which is the bigger prize. So what I said to myself, I said, you should hear your target group, and this process is called the design thinking. Go to the street and learn and hear from your target. So I went and I moved, I traveled to the kids in Egypt, and I have spoken to them, and I played with them, and I heard them, and I listened to them constantly. I've listened to what they don't say verbally, the tone and their body language and so on and so forth. And after that, I could have managed to know what are the areas of improvements, and I worked in that area. So my advice is, before sewing a suit, you have to take the measurements first. Sit with him, hear him, listen to him. Don't you ever make a suit based on the measurements that you suppose or that are on your mind. Try to see the truth before. Hamdan, our brother, took us into a very important path, perseverance and determination to achieve our goals, the goals that we want to fulfill. I believe that during your trip to get honored, you experienced moments of, let's say, obstacles or challenges. How did you learn from them, and then how did you surpass them? Maybe a lot of people don't know that, but I'm specialized in aerospace engineering. Which university? Khalifa University in Abu Dhabi. Yes, I'm proud to be graduate from Khalifa University, but after graduation, I faced a group of difficulties or challenges. Therefore, I couldn't work in my field of my studies, but this did not stop me. I said to myself, I have to start somewhere. I have to learn and acquire skills, and many skills, and develop myself and see what are the things that I'm passionate about that are not necessarily close to the field of my study. With years, I discovered one thing, and this is an advice that I would like to give to every young person. In order to be a successful person, you need to diversify your skills. Today, if you're counting on your degree and your certificate, you may succeed indeed, but yet your chances in success would be narrow, or would be bigger, if you diversify your skills. I learned risk management and leadership management and project management, and I figured out that it can be useful in so many fields. How did you learn about that? Was it by field practice, diploma, or lectures? My beginnings my beginning was in the field. I was in a project management office. I was a rookie, a fresh, and with zero information. I saw a huge challenge in front of me, but I've said to myself, I'm very ambitious, so I just need to have confidence in myself. So I took the chance and I started taking courses, and I figured out that it is very important in all fields. With time, I've noted that there is a skill that I was missing, public speaking skills. So I started developing myself. For example, I'm interested in cultural diplomacy, so I should have developed myself in this regard, in this field. All these things made me get this prize. If I did not work on myself and gave up, and I said these challenges are bigger than me, I just need an opportunity in my field, I would have never gotten this prize. Amongst these things that you've mentioned or pointed out, what is the advantage that you've had comparing to your counterparts? How does it feel on reality? The one thing that made a difference with Fatma is that I've never been afraid of failure. This is something that my brother Hamdan have mentioned. At first I was afraid, and it is human, it's a human reaction. You would be stressed facing challenges and new adventures, but I always ask myself when I'm about to start a new thing, new opportunity, what is the worst scenario that can happen to you, Fatma? And I find out that it is not that bad to try new things. I felt a lot among 20 chance. I'm not shy today. I'm not shy to say that I've tried 20 times and I succeeded once. So my advice for the youth today is to play a leading role so that you can try everything. And then if you try, the probability of you succeeding will increase. Excellent. Brilliant, Khalid. Each person is controlled by certain things or moved by certain things. There are people that are moved by pain or suffering. There are people that are moved by ambition. And there are other people that are moved by the need. You, as a Khalid, what was the fuel that was pumping you to move forward? Your question is kind of loaded, or mine, but honestly, there are many factors that pushed Khalid to do a lot of stuff, a lot of things, such as believing in myself, in my skills. Wonderful. Passion, dream, and failure. What is your dream? What was your dream? My dream is still to leave my mark and my fingerprint in my country, in every field in my country, and to help my youth brothers regardless on which institution I work. For whether if it is Dubai Police or any other institution, the most important thing is that I would serve my country and my people with all my potential. I've always had the idea of, Khalid, you should work more on yourself and you have to invest in yourself. And I faced tons of challenges, to be honest, and difficulties, whether in my studies or personal life. There is an information that maybe lots of people don't know. I am from Fujairah originally, and I live in Dubai, and I studied in Abu Dhabi. But while joining youth councils, and for 3 years this period of time we couldn't stop working. We were attending conferences and councils. Therefore, my day was full of activities between the Emirates of this country. Today, the passion that keeps me going forward, knowing that our membership in youth councils is voluntary membership. I don't gain money from it. But what was really a motivation for me is the passion and the dreams, and made me wake up every day in the morning and invest my money and energy in the right field. Hamdan, that is brilliant. Life index of a human being is much more like stock index sometimes, and it's down sometimes and sometimes it goes up. When your index is down, what is the factor that will make you go up again? Wonderful question. My mindset is to build on thinking on a long-term vision. I often get patient over small things short-term, and I say that these things would be beneficial in the long term, so I act patiently. So sometimes I ask myself, what is the long term? Does it mean the next 5 years? Is it the next 10 years? Right, and then I don't really know what's the answer of this question. What is long term? And then I always recall this hadith: when a man dies, his acts come to an end, but there are 3 things that would continue forever. A son that would pray for you, recurring charity, or a knowledge by which people benefit. So I said, Hamdan, this is the long term I'm looking for. Whether if I'm happy or sad, my stock index is down. That's my goals are an aim. If I'm going to make one of those 3 things come to life, or to life, then I'm taking the risk and taking off the chance. If this thing will make my children pray for me in the future, I'm going to do it. If people are going to learn and get knowledge out of it in the future, then I'm going to go for it. That is brilliant. So each human should have a message and a principle. Wonderful. Fatma, tell us about your experience in Expo, and how did you end up being amongst the crew of that successful international event that honored all the Emirati community. Of course, I am always proud and grateful for being amongst Expo team for 3 years. We have put our blood, sweat and tears, our hard work, and I could see how passionate the people were to make the event successful and unique. I got the opportunity in a very kind way. I was preparing for travel to receive a prize and I got a call saying, "We want you to be among the crew of Expo." How did that reach you? Until today, I have no idea how did they call me. And this thing is the thing, or this is what makes me think that I'm very grateful and honored to be amongst this team. I started in the operation team. This is the hardest place, indeed. And let me add something. I was observing all the building you were watching in Expo. It was such an extraordinary experience. So here I benefited from my skill in project management and the risk management, and I learned a lot of stuff in the operation room, so I could add something and be beneficial. And what made the event great is that our team was a mix of all nationalities and countries, the thing that added many things for us both. With time, I graduated in my position for 6 months until I made it on site. As a person who is very much interested in art and culture, I made it and became the director of art and culture in Expo, which was a unique and outstanding experience. I was doing my best to talk with people all over the world. And it's one of the most important things for youth, which is networking, making connections. These people would help you in the future, especially if you are aiming a career in a certain field. It helped me a lot. And then after the Expo experience, we've taken a break, and today I am proud to be among Louvre Museum Abu Dhabi as Chief of Operations Unit. MashaAllah. That is wonderful. These experiences and going through challenges. Besides diversification, my brother Khalid mentioned something. I'm also from Emirati, from Ras Al Khaimah. I studied in Abu Dhabi and worked in Dubai for a while, and now I got back to Abu Dhabi. So this navigation gives you experience. Fatma, what did Expo add to Fatma as a moral value? Like we say in English, the boost gave me an uncountable amount of pride when I was meeting groups and delegations and having small talks and conversations with them. I could see how proud they were of the UAE as people living there, so you can imagine how I would feel proud as an Emirati. Today I feel like the responsibility is more than before. Expo was a chapter, and today we are another chapter. Today the UAE is becoming a world trademark thanks to Expo. Therefore, we should strive to a level up to our responsible command, our wise leadership. I always keep in mind, whenever I feel tired, that our command is working, our leadership is working day and night, attending conferences, traveling the 7 seas. It would motivate us to do more. So may Allah preserve our leadership, and may Allah give us more power to honor our country in international forums. Hamdan could you please a message to address for whom and for what? As I got used to address to these words to the Emirati youth, whom the government is counting on, inshallah, under the leadership of His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed and Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, who provided the potential and resources and in all sectors to be in the service of youth in all the fields. I address these words to them. They should believe in their potentials it's a normal thing if a person fails, yet you must never give up and invest in these experiences in order to make you level up to the second one. Today, as Khalid, I applied for many prizes, as I've mentioned to you, and I did not get the most of them. And this was never a barrier for me or an obstacle for me to search for other opportunities. Today, failing in a certain experience or going through a certain experience does never mean that I'm a loser or I'm a failure or incapable. Everything is available. You've got potential. And the skill, also the institution or educational tools are available, so the young person should initiate and invest his time, and they must know how to choose the right path that will lead him to his dream. That is wonderful. Brother Hamdan, any last words, and for whom would you direct those words? A wonderful question. As usual, your questions are always brilliant. I'm addressing this message to the audience here, since they are the ones that are hearing me directly. It's always a good thing to recall that we should always accept what Allah has for us. It's a conviction. I remember the first time I've heard that I lost the prize. I was frustrated, and then I was speaking to myself, say Alhamdulillah, thank God, be satisfied. Satisfaction itself and acceptance itself is a plan, it's a strength. Yet getting enough for what you are giving is a deficit. Accept what Allah gave you, but you should always give everything to your community, to your country. That's why I wish the best of luck for everybody, and thank you very much for this nice evening, rich of deep questions. May Allah reward you. Fatma, any last words? And for who? I would like to thank first of all my family, my parents, for being my supporters, my first supporters, and for what they've made me become today. And at the same time, I'd like to address a message to the youth's parents. Today, your youths have energy that want to explode and level up. All what you need is a psychological support before anything. So if they got the necessary amount of support from home and from their parents, we are going to witness an outstanding youth energy, holding high positions in the government and the international forums. At the end, I would like to express my thanks to our wise leadership and command for believing in our dreams and ambitions, and for being the first supporter and believers in our potential. It has been an honor being among you, and I would like to express my thanks to Muhammad bin Rashid Al Maktoum Knowledge Foundation, and for His Excellency Jamal bin Huwairab for his presence. And thank you for coming, and thank you, brothers and sisters, for your attention. Peace and blessings be upon you all.